Right, I feel really sad having to do this once again, but I've already had to report a person whose name I won't mention again, but a police abusing powers supporter who was reported to the police by the establishment, and I had to do the same because that individual was harassing me. And I won't go into all of that again, but basically I've already mentioned this before. You know, here's Dan, who's not well, he had a stroke and everything, and there's me praying for him, and people saying, you know, his moderators are saying, you know, being all, stop apologising, Bryony, there are plenty of people, you're just as important as everyone else, and all this kind of thing. And yeah, blah 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 blah. There's me saying thank you very much, all hearts and lovey-dovey. Then scroll down. Right, this is what gets me, because these people, I kept saying that any conversation between me and Dan was private, and even Dan said that. Tina talked about GDPR. Scroll down to the most recent comment from one of Dan's police abusing powers moderators. And here's, hang on a minute, right, so here's one of my comments 21 hours ago. Still, you are not taking any responsibility. I'm not going to keep repeating the same thing, but again, any conversation between me and Tina or Dan was private unless I made it public, because I have a disclaimer. It was no business of anyone else's unless I made it so. I've already reported 2 supporters to YouTube, and I'm having to, what did I say? Report them again, which I've had to do for the first time ever. I've had to call 101 to report someone from the internet. I've never done that in my life before. This is the irony. This is police abusing powers, and the Sussex police are the last people on this earth I ever want to see again, and I've had to report fake people. Now, Crafts and Other Stuff, the moderator, I never said it wasn't private, hun. However, I'm only stressing that you should email Tina as she asked you to do so. As for taking responsibility, I can't do that, as I am not a moderator or anything. Well, I thought they were a moderator on police abusing powers. I thought Crafts and Other Stuff, I was pretty certain you were a moderator on police abusing powers, just like what was the other one called? Lost Souls Paranormal. I also can't take responsibility for another person. No, I'm asking you to take responsibility for yourself. I'm not interested in anything this person has got to say, which is why I've replied I'm not interested. But the fact that you have admitted I never said that it wasn't private, and in a comment earlier, you said that there's nothing wrong with being nosy. Well, of course there's nothing wrong with being nosy. But, you know, you think that, I just wanted to say that basically, you know, Tina did introduce herself as a nosy cow, quote. The first time I heard of her on police abusing powers, and I thought, this woman could really help me, and I talked her up. She offered me her services in one phone call. She told me to phone her back from just one phone call with Tina. And this individual, who is a moderator on police abusing powers, are saying they're not. I repeat, any conversation between me and Tina or Dan was private, and it was Dan who actually said to me, your conversations are private. But you, Crafts and Other Stuff, are saying I never said that it wasn't private, hun. I'm saying it was. And so I'm already upset on many different levels, which I won't keep going over. But as for GDPR, as I've responded below, I'm not interested. And, you know, you're coming out with the same nonsense, which, you know, it's none of your business anyway. It's none of anyone's business, which is why I reported you to YouTube for all your abuse, which Dan wasn't willing to do, and Tina was present at the time. This is a woman who has 40 years of experience of dealing with the vulnerable. So as for GDPR, let me tell you something. You've actually breached GDPR, right? Should I tell you why? Crafts and other stuff, you are deluded, and it sounds as if you've breached GDPR. Shall I tell you why? There's you mucking about with all this nonsense because you've got nothing better to do, when I'm working my butt off to get help, right? And Dan said to me, ring me up if you're ever feeling suicidal. And I didn't take advantage of that. It's up to him if he wants to listen to me for hours on end, or he can just say, look, I really can't listen, and I would appreciate that. But let me tell you, I'm going to finish with just this. David from the MP office wasn't even willing to give my lady witness friend, you know, the only person who actually does want to help me, the lady who was attacked in the street for trying to help me, attacked by random drunks, for trying to help me with my council accommodation terrorism. She'd gone back to David at the MP office, and he refused to give any information because, quote, of GDPR. And all she was doing was inquiring after what they were doing for me, which is sweet F